a lot of what we've been told as far as like fat phobia is rooted in racism is not like, it's not so black and white.
Ho, 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 ho!
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunnyside Up Gal, and you are my Sunnyside Up pal. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, oh my god, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Consider giving me a subscribe, leave a comment, check out my other videos as well, but I think you're really gonna like this one. If you are a returning viewer, holy shnikes, guys, it's day 20 of Vlogmas and we're here together again. Wow, thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate you. I think this is going to be a really great relationship we've got going on here. So today is going to be actually a fun episode because I don't have a lot to talk about. So that's good. And then also we're going to do a hashtag. So today's hashtag is going to be Fatactivism. We're going to do the hashtag from Instagram and we're just going to go ahead and just jump right in. So honestly, it was kind of hard for me to search fat activism. I typed in fat activism and it just gave me like the AI algorithm search for fat activism. It didn't give me, it wouldn't let me pick the hashtag. I had to go to someone's post to find the hashtag. And now I am in the hashtag. So let me show you what we got going on here. If you can hear my dogs, I'm sorry, but also not sorry. Polly is on something today. I don't know. And she's chewing on her Kong, and that's better than her chewing on my life. So just, you don't hear her. I tried to suppress the sound a little bit more, but whatever. Okay, so first off, here's the fat activism hashtag. I've used some of these videos already for some of my compilation, like fat activism stuff that pissed me off, yada, yada, yada. But we're just going to pick random ones and then we're just going to chat and we're just going to, you know, talk trash. What we got here? Fat activism. So what is even fat activism? You know, I guess I'll put a description on the page. We won't have to get into that. All right, so a clip from our episode, The Real Reason You Hate Fat People with Jen Ari Music. The episode is one of our favorites from 2023, and we highly recommend it from giving the full episode a watch or listen. All right, so let's watch.
This is like maybe a controversial take, but I don't think that the majority of fat people, until you learn about body liberation and body positivity, no one would choose to continue to be fat in a world where they absolutely hate fat people. People think that I'm glorifying obesity by spreading the word, and like,
I think she's right. I think a lot of people, first of all, we live in reality. So like, yeah, nobody clearly, I don't know if the word hate is the thing more than it is that it's an unhealthy lifestyle. So I don't think that people hate obese people. I don't think that that's the case. I think it's more like we hate when people are claiming that obesity is healthy and completely fine and yada, yada, yada.
everybody about this information. Trust me, I wouldn't recommend anybody be fat in this world. It is horrible. It is so traumatizing. It is so isolating. People are evil. They are cruel.
Okay, it's so, I feel like she's in another level of fat activism. I feel like she's in another, like, there are the fat activisms that are like, or the fat activists who are like, yeah, I would totally be like, there's nothing wrong with this body. I highly recommend being fat, yada, yada, yada. She's going based off of like an emotional standpoint. Like, why would you want to be fat? Everybody hates you. She thinks that people hate her because she's fat. She's claiming that it's because people are evil. Yeah. Okay. Personally, honestly, yeah, I think that there are jerks out there and there's people who are complete assholes. People are going to judge you on your looks no matter what you look like. Everybody gets judged based off of their looks. I feel like this is something that you've, like, being in a fat body is something that you put yourself into. So I'm not saying that you should expect people to bully you. Like, I don't think that we should bully people to their face. But I mean, it's not impossible to not live in a fat body.
Strangers think it's okay to tell you on the bus.
That's wild. So like, I've heard people say that they've been called, like, people have gone up to them and been like, hey, you're fat. Like, that is so strange to me. And honestly, if you're just trolling and you're just trying to be like a jerk to someone, and you go up to them and just tell them like, hey, you're fat, like, that's weird to me. That's just weird behavior, because fat people know that they're fat. Most fat people know that they're fat, right? So that's poor trolling, and then that's just very weird behavior. That I don't think she's getting a lot of that on the bus, because I just don't think that that's where we're at in society anymore. Maybe like in the 20s, like if she was living in the fucking 30s, she jumped on a bus, it'd be like, holy shit, where's the circus, right? I don't think that she's circusized, but maybe in the 30s she would have been circusized.
You're fat. You should lose weight. You're disgusting. Like, it's nonstop.
What? That really is happening to her nonstop? Like, people are berating her nonstop? That is so crazy, because she's not ugly. She's just fat. I mean, I don't know her life. She could be living in the craziest, weirdest city on the planet.
And that leads to people isolating themselves and like seeking comfort through food. And this
Okay, so there it is. She is blaming everyone else. She almost got me. She almost got me. I almost felt bad for her, but then she's blaming that as to why she's eating. You almost got me. You almost got me. I was saying this in yesterday's episode. Like, a lot of the people who are in fat activism, they put a lot of blame onto something else. They don't want to take over the responsibility. She literally just blamed bullies for why she's eating. That's weird, because you're in control of your hands and your mouth. That's so strange to me.
is like maybe a controversial take, but I don't
It is.
think that the majority of fat people, until you learn about body liberation and body positivity, no one would choose to continue to be fat in a world where they absolutely hate fat people. People think that I'm glorifying obesity by spreading the word and like telling
Oh, did it repeat?
everybody about me. I wouldn't recommend anybody be fat.
Okay, it just looped. Sorry. But yes, she's just refusing to take responsibility for her own actions and blaming people being mean to her. But like, you're responsible for your own eating habits. That said, I used to dress exactly like this when I was big. I was always, first of all, you're big, so you can't just wear cardigans, but I would wear cardigans all the time. I was so ashamed of my arms. And then I would wear like little kimono cardigans like this, jeans, you know. I would dress, this is exactly like an outfit I would wear. Okay, I used to follow this girl because she was so funny, and then she just got kind of weird. And like, there were some things that she would say that I was like, that's kind of racist, but I don't think that she would think it's racist. I don't know.
I think
Okay, this is called not no, but seriously, what the fuck is fat phobia? What are you scared of? That I'll eat you? Idiot.
as a society we have progressed beyond the need to use fat as an insult. It's a fucking adjective. I don't know what people expect the reaction to be when you call someone fat. Like they say it like they're driving a spear through your fucking heart. You're fat. Yes, congratulations on having eyeballs, bitch. I was in this body before you saw it. What do you think I'm looking at, idiot? No other adjective is
Yeah, honestly, I don't think a lot of people are getting offended by the word fat. Like I've said before, people know that they're fat. But at the same time, she's saying that it doesn't bother her, but I bet in an argument with her father, if her father said, if they were fighting, or maybe her mom, if they were fighting and they were like, you're fat, I'm sure she would cry about that later. It depends on who's telling you you're fat, right?
was treated that way. If I came up to you and said you're tall, you wouldn't want to sock me in the face. I think as a society we have progressed beyond the need to use fat as an insult. It's a fucking
Okay.
adjective. I don't know what people
I'm having like a hard time figuring out when these things loop again. I'm so stupid. Okay. Part 2, as requested, hee hee. Again, this is a joke and not bullying or degrading thin people, is playfully calling out people who make passive aggressive comments about fat girls. This is not about or directed at thin people or any one person or demographic. Oh my god, the fact that you had to do an entire, and it's still going, the entire it's all just like a disclaimer. Like, chill, bitch, just make the joke.
Most thin people I meet are not that confident. But you seem like you really love yourself. I mean, it says one size fits all, so it's not really like my fault if it doesn't fit skinny people. They make that.
She's making parallel jokes that people would make, parallel comments that somebody would make towards a fat person at skinny people.
Your size now. Wow. Do you guys think my jawline is like too sharp? You know, most thin people.
That's funny. Honestly, that was funny. Okay. Flying as a fat person can be so intimidating, but truthfully, watching Samira Cambrielle's video made me feel so much more confident. Never be afraid to ask for something as a fat person. I went on 2 flights and asked for a seatbelt extender both times. The first time I was nervous, but the second time I owned it.
Good morning. Do you have a seat extender? Let me see if I have one up here.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Can I please have a seatbelt extender? Thank you so much.
Good for her. I mean, I think we all agree that everybody deserves to be safe on an airplane. Yeah. And it's not like you can bring your own seatbelt extender on a plane. First of all, I had claimed that you could. I feel like they should be standardized, but apparently different airlines have different standard seatbelts, which is stupid. Like, it should all be standardized, right? But yeah, they should supply. You should feel totally fine to ask for a seatbelt extender because your safety is very important. Look at her. She's so proud that she's so big that she has to get a seatbelt extender. Good for you, girl. Jesus. Whoever took this video or whoever took this picture of her, like, do you hate her? Do you hate Virgie Tovar? Because what the fuck? Okay. Ooh, this is loud, sorry. Okay, so this is by Fat Fab Feminist. Ugh, annoying. No, because I'm tired of this narrative. Fat people are not failed thin people. Oh my fucking... Okay, so the comment is, oh my fucking god. Thin is the default. We are all meant to be thin. No such thing as thin privilege, just fat consequences. I disagree. I don't think everybody's meant to be thin. I think we're all meant to be, like, healthy. Thin, when I hear the word thin, it makes me think of, like unhealthy, like thin. I don't know. Thin can be healthy. I just don't think that thin is the default for everybody. I think thin to like a very small midsize is good, right? Is that right? What's a very small midsize? But I don't think that thin is the default. All right, let's see. Also, newsflash, if you have to work out to be thin, then by definition of the word, that's not your default. Everyone's bodies are different. Some people are naturally thin and some are just naturally fat. I think that if you have to work out to be thin, that's because our ancestors like weren't sedentary people. Right? Even like 60 years ago, we weren't sedentary people. We were like walking to like our jobs and stuff. Like, I think we were walking more. This is the fact that we go to work, sit at work, don't move very much for most people, and then we come home and sit on the couch and just like doom scroll TikTok and Instagram and all that jazz. Like, that's not normal. That's not a default, right? Our bodies were meant to be active. And going to the gym to have a healthy body doesn't mean that it's not your default. Again, I don't think there is a default. I think the default is just healthy, but I don't believe that you can be obese like this and healthy. Oh, it's so loud. Sorry. Oh, it's that Shut the Fuck Up song. Oh, okay. So this is called fat phobia and racism. What we now call fat phobia has a long radicalized history. It's emerged from anti-black narratives that aim to control and pathologize black bodies, especially the bodies of black women. If you've never explored this history, Fearing the Black Body: The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia by Sabrina Strings is an eye-opening place to start. So the next time you find yourself criticizing your body or feeling shame for living in a larger body, remember you are repeating a script that was built to control people, not protect your health. You deserve better than the lies diet culture told you. Oh my god. Okay, so Fearing the Black Body: The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia by Sabrina Strings. You got that, Angelica Unfiltered? You have a new what's it called? what are they called? Book essays? What are those called in school, you guys? Book report. I had to look it up. So Fearing the Fat Body, the racial origins of fat phobia, and Sabrina String. So what I am so I'm not familiar. Well, I'm not super duper deep into it. I haven't read the book clearly, but I also don't think that a lot of what we've been told as far as like fat phobia is rooted in racism is not like it's not so black and white. First of all, they're claiming the BMI was racist because it was only tested on white males, not on people of color. And I don't think that they were trying to be racist when they did that. I think they were just stupid and didn't think, to test other demographics. Maybe there was some racism. Maybe they were just like, no, everybody's the same. Let's just watch.
Quick history reminder, fat phobia didn't just come out of nowhere. A lot of our modern hatred for fatness comes from
Why do they talk so slow? Sometimes I feel like when they talk slow like that, I'm like, do you know what you're covering? Like, can you speak from your heart?
very racist roots, specifically around anti-blackness, controlling and pathologizing black bodies.
I don't think that that's the case. I don't think people go, I don't want to be fat because I don't want to be black, or like I don't like. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like the claim that fat phobia is rooted in racism because it's a fear it's related to like the bodies of black women, and black people are fatter than white people. Like that seems racist to me and also untrue. Like, do you have eyes? It seems like somebody brought this up to kind of like bunch fat phobia with racism to like make people more afraid to be fat phobic just because it's worse to be racist. Does that make sense? And I absolutely don't believe that fat phobia was rooted in racism. I think somebody had brought up like there's like a drawing of like a slave with like larger body parts, like a big butt and big boobs, and people didn't want to be like that. They're claiming that white women didn't want to be like that, and I'm just like, maybe a case, but I don't think that all the way back then is what's causing the fat phobia now. Like, people want big butts and big booties. Like, any people who lose weight complain about no longer having titties and butts anymore. Like, I just don't. I think it's really honestly a way that people prevented fat phobia was to bunch it next to racism so that you would feel less inclined to be fat phobic because you are afraid to be racist. Does that make sense? Like, nobody wants to be racist, right?
Especially black women's bodies. If you've never heard that before, I highly recommend looking up the book Fearing the Black Body. So if you find in the future that you're beating yourself up for being in a larger body, remember, you're replaying a script that was designed to
If you are worried about being in a fat body, remember, you're being racist.
control people. It wasn't made to keep you healthy.
That's wild. That's wild. Crazy. Okay, body positivity is for burn victims and amputees, not for lazy, overweight snowflakes with no drive and no self-respect. A quote from my comment section. This is William Hornby. He is like up there with that PhD Hoffman chick. I'll share a picture. I hate him. I don't know him, but I just think he's stupid, and I think that he spreads way more. First of all, annoying voice. If you've got an annoying voice, please get off the internet. Annoying voice, annoying message, right? Spreading false information about what's healthy and what's not healthy regarding obesity. Let's see.
Positivity is for burn victims and amputees, not for lazy, overweight snowflakes with no drive or self-respect. Ooh, sorry, but thin white gym bros didn't come up with and don't get to redefine body positivity. Doesn't matter, because I'm right. Just because you have enough cultural capital and privilege to appropriate movements that aren't yours and not get called on it, or God forbid, get praised for it, doesn't mean that you should or that you're right. All I'm saying is that body positivity is for people who didn't make their bodies that way due to their own irresponsibility.
I agree. I don't think that body positivity is for people who. I don't think that body positivity is just for fat people. There, I think that everybody should be should be, you should love yourself in the body that you're currently in. And sometimes when you're in an overweight or a fat body, loving yourself could include like proper nutrition, right? So I kind of agree what this William Hornsby is saying. Like, it's not just for the fats. Like, it's for everybody who has a body, basically, that might be insecure about that body.
Responsibility. So you're saying that individuals in bodies that don't meet the way that you think people should look shouldn't get to show up in society without criticism unless it's not their fault that they look that way? Yes, I am. Cool, so you're still wrong. We know from decades of research that maintained weight loss is impossible for
The fact that he used the word impossible tells me he's not, something's not right up here. Like, impossible is so like black and white. It's so right. Why would you use such a I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I want to say definitive. Like, why would you use such a end all be all word for something that's completely incorrect? We know that from decades of research that maintained weight loss is impossible for nearly everyone. Listen, we all know who Jared is from Subway, and homie maintained, and well, he did gain a little bit, but like, he's not like 500 pounds anymore. I don't know why I brought up Jared. Probably a bad idea. But we've known people in the public eye who have maintained weight loss. And I know he said for nearly everyone, so it doesn't mean that it's impossible for everybody, but like, it's not nearly everyone. It's not even close to nearly everyone. It is almost everyone, right? Like, it's possible for almost everyone to do it. And I would say it's possible for everyone. The people who can't maintain, it's because they're not maintaining the lifestyle. They're not maintaining the diet that they've committed to, right? They no longer commit to this diet and they eat like shit again and they get fat.
for nearly everyone. And even if that weren't the case, no one should be punished for showing up in society as they are. Everyone should have that right to show up without being discriminated against.
So I guess I need to know his definition of discrimination or an example of what he's talking about, because I think a lot of the fat community, like the fat activism community, believes that they're being discriminated, or they're being discriminated to the extent of like disabled or black people of color back in the day, and it's not even close to that. So
But it's not about how you look to people. That's shallow. It's about health. But it isn't about health, is it? Because you don't know anything about the habits or illnesses or causes of illness of the fat people you harass on the internet. And even if you did, illness is not a legitimate or justified basis for discrimination.
I don't think anybody's judging them based off of their illness, though. Well, first of all, we're human, so we use our eyes first before we see, like, before anything else, before we know anything else. So, like, I don't think it's unnatural. I don't think it's an unnatural response to judge somebody by the way they look. It is natural to do that. But then you get to know somebody and you're like, oh, this person has a pituitary gland thing or something, right? Most of the times, though, that's not the case. They like to eat.
So stop. Just stop. You are causing so much harm. Stop.
God, he is so insufferable. Like, I cannot stand him. He is nightmare juice. Okay, so this is the person who blocked me, Jordan Allen Hall. I'll show you. Profile isn't available. I don't know, maybe they deleted their profile, but no more discourse, just outfits and fat positive friendship. It's loud and there's copyrighted music. Okay, popping in. So this is Fat Fab Feminist popping in with Jordan Allen Hall to share some fat joy with you, especially after the last few weeks. I had so much fun at the Shop Berries plus size closet sale because I finally got to meet Maddie Drags Bake and hang out with them. Okay, so it's just them being fat on camera. Okay, cute. Closer, closer every day, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. We were traveling tribulations. I'm almost there.
Fresh pie? Save me a
Okay, so this says trying to date as a fat, child-free, monogamous woman in the US.
slice.
American men, I'm only into fit, petite women. It's my preference.
That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Foreign men, I'd like a traditional family with many children.
that's all right. That's good. Okay.
Fellow fat men, no fatties. Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Okay. All
Queer women, often fat phobic.
right. Okay, that's good.
Non-binary people, non-monogamous. Hot non-binary people are non-monogamous.
That's good. It's
Fat fetish people, feederism.
enough slices.
Jesus Christ. First of all, look at all this hot shit on this plate. You are gonna have hot lava diarrhea. Okay, this was pre-haircut, but I liked it and still wanted to share outfit details. And then she gives us details. Well, let's see. She's just showing us her outfit.
Pretty little baby, pretty little baby, pretty little baby.
This is almost cringecore. Like, what are you doing?
That pretty baby, getting little tuber.
And she posted it like that, like Mamacita. You can edit. That's funny as fuck, dude. Okay, fat girl walks into the doctor for a flu shot and gets a lecture about BMI.
The old joke goes, patient walks into the doctor's office, says, "Doctor, it hurts when I move my arm like this. What should I do?" And the doctor says, "So don't move your arm like that." Now, fat girl walks into doctor's office, says, "Doctor, it hurts when I move my arm like this. What should I do?" And the doctor says, "Have you considered weight loss surgery?"
I would if Michael and I were in the audience, we would be the only two laughters that would come out of the audience. Like, I literally am LOLing inside. Good joke.
That girl walks into the doctor for a flu shot and gets a lecture about BMI. That girl walks into the doctor's with an earache and gets asked if she's ever eaten a salad.
That didn't happen. I don't think that, honestly, people are claiming, like, I've gone into the doctor with an earache and they've told me about weight loss. First of all, your doctor is supposed to, like, care for you, correct? It's not like they may still talk to you about your BMI, but are they also going to treat your ear infection? They absolutely should. And if they don't, that's a bad doctor. Like, be logical. Use logic. If you went in and you know you have an ear infection, you're like, bitch, I need antibiotics. And they're like, I'm not going to give you antibiotics. I think you should try to lose 10 pounds first. Like, that's like, go to urgent care, because that's wild if your doctor is like that. However, I don't think that there are doctors like that. Well, I'm sure there's, outliers. I don't think that this is happening. I don't think that people go in for an arm thing and their doctor is telling you to lose weight. If they are, they're treating that first and then they're considering talking to you about weight loss. I also don't think a doctor has ever, been like, have you ever eaten a salad in your life? That's weird behavior. That's antisocial.
Fat girl walks into the doctor.
Does anybody else think that, like, sometimes, is this considered slam poetry? I don't know. Sometimes, like, when people perform poetry, it's when they do it like this, a lot of like that. It makes my back like curl, like I'm cringing from the inside out. Like, it's stop.
Office with a spider bite, and the doctor obsesses over how low her blood pressure is. Low for such a fat person anyway. Insists on checking it 3 times before he'll believe it. Forgets completely about the mass of purple spider venom that brought her here to begin with. Fat girl walks into the doctor's to ask about antidepressants and gets prescribed exercise.
Regarding the blood pressure thing, my blood pressure was 116/19 or something like that. No, it wasn't. You would literally be dead. It was 113/69. This was actually yesterday. And don't pay attention to the BMI. I was wearing my boots and some jeans. And I still believe, like, in my head that I am in a body that should have, like, crazy high blood pressure. Like, I'm still considered obese, right? So I often wonder if, like, their machines are broken. But literally, I've gone to, like, in the last, like, since November 1, I've gone to 4 different hospitals and doctor's offices because, like, I had my scheduled appointments, and then I went to the emergency room. I went to urgent care for other stuff, right? And they're all there. They're all, like, the same, basically under 120 over 80. Healthy as a horse.
So I'm a little fucked up. But will you take care of me forever and ever?
But I do feel like, is this wrong? Because I feel like if you're in a body like that, your blood pressure should be fat. There's a lot more blood to be pumped, right? Your blood pressure should be fat. Your blood pressure should be high. I was expecting mine to be high, and I was shocked that it wasn't.
Instead, because obviously her depression is because of her fat, and obviously
I believe that could be true. I do believe that could be true. Exercise and eating well is a great first, what's the word? First form of defense against depression and mental health issues. Like, if you start eating right, you walk more. Like, I'm not even telling you to go to the gym, just go on a walk, right? Be outside, you know? Eating right, walking more, is a great way to protect your mental health. Although in an emergency, like, clearly there are, like, chemical imbalances, your doctor should be treating that. But excess body fat on the body, adipose tissue, can cause hormonal changes, and that can cause chemical imbalances, including chemical imbalances in your head.
fat bodies never exercise and stay fat. Fat girl walks into the doctor's office for a standard 3-month follow-up appointment, and the doctor says, "Have you considered that weight loss surgery yet?" Fat girl gets tired of constantly being diagnosed as fat. So fat girl stops walking into the doctor's office. Fat girl walks into the world and says, "World, it hurts to exist like this." And the world says, "So stop existing like that." Fat girl walks through a...
I mean, that's not bad advice. Like, if it hurts, physically and mentally and emotionally to be in a fat body, like, why are you still eating? That's a little heartless, right? It's a little heartless, Robin. Okay, I will do better.
world that would rather she slice herself open than to exist as she does. Side effects be damned. Fat girl walks through a world overrun with sidewalk doctors who claim to be concerned about her health. Side effects be damned. Fat girl walks into the world and still somehow manages to love her fat body. And the world says, "Stop glorifying obesity." Fat girl walks into the world and says, "I do not owe you shrinking, I do not owe you thinness."
Honestly, she's putting on a good show. Like, I am getting a little touched. Like, she believes this.
Attempted thinness or desired thinness, because you assume thinness equals health. For that matter, I do not owe you health, perceived or otherwise, to receive basic respect. I am deserving of care.
I think that is care, though. I feel like if you go to the doctor's office and they see that you're morbidly obese, I think they are inclined to, and probably held by the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm, but they have to say something, right? Otherwise, when you die of an obesity related disease, and maybe they would feel like guilty for not ever saying anything or helping you.
Deserving to exist as I do. I am deserving of first, no harm done. And the world says that is the best joke we've heard all day.
Honestly, well done. Like, good poem. I cringed a little bit at first, but it was really good. It did, like, a wraparound, ended great. they call that a callback, right? A joke. It's good. It's there's layers to this, right? So good job on that, on the poem. But we judge still. Let's read the comments. I am sobbing. I do not owe you health, perceived or otherwise, to receive basic respect. Good. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. I was obese until about a decade ago. A quote that always sticks with me. You'll find someone. Whoa. You'll find no one. Okay. I was obese until a decade ago. A quote that always sticks with me. You'll find no one with more bottled up rage than a fat girl with a smile. I was told my back pain was because I was fat and I had to lose 30 pounds to be treated. I lost the 30 and went back to the doctor, who said he couldn't treat me until I made a more significant loss of 40 more pounds. So I stopped eating breakfast and went back. Doctor says I should feel a little better, but he thinks if I lost another 30 pounds, he could start treating my back. At this point, I've only had one x-ray and shaming in a year as care for my back. Finally, after starving myself for over 2 years, I quit eating breakfast and lunch, and I had to quit all sugar. And losing 138 pounds, the doctor in a huff sends me to get an MRI. I had and still have ankylosing spondylitis, which without treatment makes vertebra fuse and deteriorate. I had it so long without treatment, and now I can only stand and walk for 15 minutes at a time because I was fat. Okay, I actually kind of believe that. Like that's because that's been one of my examples. Like if you have back pain, a good first response is to try to lose weight. However, after she lost the 30 plus 40 pounds and she was still experiencing back pain, like her doctor should have been like, oh, okay, shit, something's really wrong, right? Get a second opinion, you guys. I know I'm sorry if that's like, if I know that not everybody can shop around for a doctor or miss more work for appointments, or like you don't have a lot of doctors in your area that your insurance can cover, or you don't have insurance, but get a second opinion. And then if worse gets to worse, go to the emergency room and fuck the bill, right? What are they going to come do? They're going to come get you? Are you planning on, you don't have insurance, so are you planning on buying a house soon? Okay, probably not. So don't worry about your credit. Get get help first. Okay? Okay. All right, last one. Okay, so this says fat phobia was invented to sell us the myth that we are inadequate as we are. You are whole, you are not broken, your fat body is not a problem to be solved. Soak in the honey bath that is self-acceptance. If we truly accepted ourselves, we'd be allowed to exist as is, and we deserve to be loved, worshipped, adored exactly as we are. Fat people store pillows of magic between our rolls. No, I've seen an episode of 600 Pounds, and between his roll, it was yeast. We could topple a global $72 billion diet industry with that power. So somebody had mentioned in my comments that the $72 billion diet industry, Coca-Cola and the food industry alone triples that probably. So 72 billion times 3 is 216 billion. And we're going to go through the top, like the biggest food industries in the world, in the United States, whatever. But for Coca-Cola, this is the actual Coca-Cola company website. For the full year, net revenues, I think this is from last year, so 2024. For the full year, net revenues grew 3% to 47 billion. All right, so I'm adding it, 47 billion plus. All right, let's go to PepsiCo. PepsiCo for the fiscal year ending 2025, September 30th, 92 billion. And Nestle for the year annual revenue for 2024 was 104 billion plus 104. For General Mills, which is a teeny tiny one, but even General Mills, 20 million basically. And the total for the food industry, not even including all of the fast food that's out there, not even including every other junk food creator on the planet, total is 263 billion. So the diet industry is not this like gigantic conglomerate industry out there to like eradicate fat people. Like the food industry does much more devious and unhealthy harm to this planet. It's like way more, makes way more in revenue on feeding fat people than the diet industry will ever try to make fat people less. I'm a 20-year-old fat black gay man, and I feel I'll never find someone who will like me back.
The undesirability of fat people is a myth, sold to us by white supremacists so that we purchase their diet products, and we continue to try to reach.
Yo, I thought she was petting herself, but she's petting a cat.
Ever-shifting beauty ideal. The undesirability.
I gotta rewatch that. I need to rewatch that.
Is a myth, sold to us by white supremacists so that we purchase their diet products.
No. See, it started like this. Started with white supremacists. I feel like they're just pulling all of this out of their ass. That's wild. Like, honestly, I think that the current day and age of fat phobia started with the fear the fat phase from like the 70s when they stopped adding fat to like food. And that at the same time is part of when, like, around the 60s and 70s is part when we stopped using like real butter and we started using like seed oils and stuff like that. That's when everything kind of like snowballed, and people started getting fatter because we stopped adding fat. We took away the fat and we just added sugar into everything. And then I feel like that when people started being like, everything needs to be fat free, we started bunching fat free with like don't be fat together. And it just is still stuck there, right? What do you need to lose weight? You need to eat fat. I'm just being honest. I know people think that it's just calories, but it's layered, right? If you want to burn fat, why would your body whose design is to keep fat so that we have energy if there's a famine, because we are still animals and our bodies do animalistic things. Why would our body get rid of this beautiful thing called fat that is evolutionarily designed to keep us alive if we're not eating fat? Why wouldn't you lose fat if you're not going to? Why would your body release the fat if you're not going to give it any other energy except for the things like sugar that help it store the fat? It's almost like your body is rewarding you with more fat when you give it sugar, because fat on the body helps us survive a famine, helps us survive starvation. So that's it. Fat activism is wild. I don't think that hashtag was as fun as I thought it was going to be. Like the fat liberation was a little bit more fun, if I'm being honest. If you guys know of any other hashtags that you'd like me to explore, put them in the comments. Again, if you are new here, I appreciate you. Please, consider giving me a subscription, a subscribe.
Whatever. Please, I want to reach 1 million likes. So please,
And if you are returning, again, I appreciate you. I feel like we're friends. We're buds. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what hashtag should I explore next, and then also leave me your fattest emoji. All right, goodbye.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'll tell you.